So guys, today we're gonna make a quick revision about the route that we've taken so far related to agreement of subject and verb or subject-verb agreement. Okay, first of all, let us take these two examples. Friendship relationships do not have to be between people of the same age. Here, the subject is relationships, it's plural, so I added do. Whereas on the subject is do. Whereas in the second sentence, friendship relationship does not have to be between people of the same age. Here, relationship is singular, so I added does. This means that the subject and the verb should agree in terms of number. For example, if I have singular subject, I have to add singular verb, and if I have plural subject, I have to add the plural verb. Like the examples below, I said relationships do, but in the second example, I said relationship does. So singular versus plural. This is everything related to the explanation or the meaning of agreement of subject and verb. We have certain rules related to subject and verb agreement, which means that the subject, this is our golden rule, sorry, the subject and the verb should agree in terms of numbers, singular subject, singular verb, plural subject, plural verb. Number one, the first rule is related to modifiers between subject and verb. Sometimes we have a modifier between the subject and the verb. Here you shouldn't be confused. For example, let us take the first condition, which is when I have prepositional phrase, which is the modifier between the subject and the verb. As an example, friendship between two people has great value on their lives. Here, the subject is friendship and the verb is has, right? Here, the verb to have.
Yes.
In the middle of the subject and the verb, I have between two people. It's a phrase. It's not a complete sentence, and that phrase starts with an adjective, with a preposition, meaning that we call it prepositional phrase. Guys, whenever I have a prepositional phrase between the subject and the verb, I don't consider it as the subject of the sentence. So here I don't say friendship between two people have, meaning that people is the subject. No, the subject is friendship and has its verb, okay? So singular subject, singular verb. Usually when I have a prepositional phrase in the middle or between the subject and the verb, it talks about or it gives us extra information about the subject, meaning that the sentence could be friendship has great value in their lives. But if I want to give extra information, I may add between two people. Let us look closely to the second example. Mothers in my community are the greatest friends of their daughters. So the subject is mothers. In my community is the phrasal verb, a prepositional phrase, since it starts with a preposition in, and my community, this is the phrase in my community. Since we don't say community is singular, so I have to add it. This is not the subject is mothers. It's a plural, so instead of saying is, what do I say? I have to say are. Any question about prepositional phrases?
No.
No.
Okay, so let us move to the second rule, the revision of the second rule, parenthetical phrases or phrase between two parentheses, okay? The first example, a good friendship as well as a dear classmate always helps us in difficulties. As you've noticed here, as well as a dear classmate, it is between two commas, okay? And when a certain part or the phrase is between two commas, it means that it's extra information about the sentence. It doesn't affect the meaning and it doesn't affect the subject-verb relationship. Here, a good friendship, the subject is a friendship, it's singular, so I don't say help, I say helps. Even if I have as well as dear classmates, classmate is not the subject. Okay, so when I have a phrase between two commas, we call this parenthetical phrase, and I have to keep in mind that it doesn't affect the subject-verb relationship. So you have to always search for the subject of the verb. Okay. Any question about the second rule? Good. The third sentence is related to reverse sentence. Reverse means I'm reversing certain part. Usually, a regular sentence starts subject and then a verb. When I revert them, it means that the verb should be before the subject. Usually, this happens when the sentence starts with expletives such as there or here. Look at this sentence or this example. There is no doubt that everyone wishes to have a friend. Guys, what is the subject here? Yes, which word is the subject? No.
Doubt.
Doubt, yeah. There is the expletive here. It's there. The subject is doubt. And where is the verb in this sentence? Here we have helping verb to be. It is. Yeah, right. So as you've noticed here, the verb of the sentence comes before the subject. This means we call this sentence a reverse sentence. Okay. So in this case, I don't say doubt that everyone wishes. Wishes is for the word doubt, since the verb should be after the subject or the etc. No. Okay. Here it's the opposite. Whenever you see there or here, you have to keep in mind that the verb should be before the verb, before the subject. Okay. Any question?
Okay, no.
The second case of a reverse sentence is when it starts with a prepositional phrase. We learned before about the meaning of prepositional phrase, but when the sentence actually the first case was that the prepositional phrase was in the middle of the sentence, right? It was a regular sentence. But when the sentence starts with a prepositional phrase, like this example, among other qualities a friend has is the ability of raising our spirit. Okay. So here, actually, it started with a prepositional phrase. When it starts with a prepositional phrase, also the subject will be after the verb, meaning that the sentence will start with a verb and then the subject. So since the subject of this sentence is ability, the verb is should be singular. So I don't say a friend has are. Okay. A friend has are. I say a friend has is the ability, because I'm talking about ability and not abilities. Okay. So this is everything till now. Guys, may you please open your books on page 87. Let us solve this practice. Practice 1, page 87. I'm gonna read it quickly, and please feel free to answer. Choose the correct verb in blue. So here in practice 1, page 87, you have two options that you have to choose between, and this depends on the subject-verb relationship. Distributing the list of nominees among voters is or are the party's responsibilities?
Is.
Excellent. Is, since we are
Because
we're
it's
not
one,
talking.
it's the list.
Yeah, we are talking
list is
about
the subject.
the distributing process and not the list of nominees. Okay, I'm talking about distributing. Take this when you have a sentence starting with verb plus ing. Usually it's singular. Okay, for example, talking to your teachers is and not are, because I'm talking about talking and not your teachers. So as a note for you guys, whenever the sentence start with verb plus ing, we call gerund, it's usually singular. Okay, so this is like one example. Guys, any question?
No.